What's going on, guys? Cove from CoveSports.com here with your NFL Picks Wildcard Weekend Edition. We are on to Sunday, and first game of the day is the Eagles at the Bucs. So let's get right into it and take a look at how these teams got here. So I don't think anyone expected the Eagles to make the playoffs when they started 2-5, not even their own fans, but they were able to flip the switch and go 7-3 over their final 10 games. Not taking anything away from the Eagles at all. You can only beat who's on your schedule, but during that stretch of the final 10 games, they only played one team that ended up making the playoffs. That was the Cowboys in the final week of the season, where the Eagles lost 51-26. They go on the road to play the Bucs on Sunday, who they played earlier in the season in Philly, and that game turned out 28-22. Bucs were able to get the win, although the Bucs were up 28-7 in that game. Eagles made a push late to make it look a little closer than it was. As for the Bucs, well, they came in with high expectations coming off of their Super Bowl win last year. They came in as favorites to win the NFC, and they had the second best odds to win the Super Bowl behind the Kansas City Chiefs. Bucs jumped out to a 6-1 record to start the season. Then they lost 2 in a row, and then they finished the season by going on a 7-1 run. Tom Brady led the way and led the league in passing yards and passing touchdowns at the age of 44. Brady haters continue to cringe, and he just continues to rack up the numbers. He does his best work in the playoffs, but this Eagles fan base knows what they did against Brady last time. So they definitely are confident. Eagles going in down there. Spread's at 8.5. We'll get into that in a minute. Let's take a look at the regular season matchup and how that played out. So the Bucs won 28-22. Does look close at first glance, but like I mentioned before, the Bucs had a 28-7 lead earlier in that game before the Eagles made a late push. The Bucs had 27 first downs compared to the 16 first downs for the Eagles. And the Bucs also went 7 for 13 on third down, while the Eagles only went 3 for 10. When it comes to total yards, the Bucs outgained the Eagles 399-213, and the time of possession lines up with that too, with the Bucs holding the ball 39 minutes and 56 seconds to 20 minutes and 4 seconds for the Eagles. Point spread is set at 8.5. The Bucs went 9-8 against the spread this season, and the Eagles went 8-8-1 against the spread this season. Over-under, we got it at 45.5 right now as of Friday. Eagles went over in 10 games, under in 7. Bucs went over in 9, under in 8. Bucs did have the number 2 offense in the league, putting up 30.1 points per game this season. So let's take a look at some of the player props. Starting with passing props, Jalen Hurts line is set at 202.5. Hurts was held to 115 passing yards in the first matchup against the Bucs earlier this season. And he did go 6-9 against this number in the season overall. Tampa's defense was much better against the run than the pass. Not as of late, but overall, they did allow 238.9 passing yards per game this season. Probably not playing this one either way. On to the next one, Tom Brady set at 274.5 passing yards. Brady led the league in passing yards like I mentioned at the top of the video. He averaged 312 passing yards per game. He threw for 297 against the Eagles in the regular season and had a crazy 81% completion percentage in that game, which was his best of the season. TB12 went over 274.5 in 11 of his 17 games this season, and there is some weather in the forecast, but it looks like the rain will be out of Tampa in the morning, and it's looking like it's going to be high 60s, partly cloudy. Brady's probably going to be throwing the ball. On to the rushing props, and I'm not even going to call this guy by his real name, Playoff Lenny. That's all he is. It's the playoffs. It's Playoff Lenny. His line is set at 63.5 rushing yards. He ran for 81 yards on 22 carries against the Eagles in the regular season, and he also had 2 touchdowns in that game. He ran for 63 or more yards in 3 of the 4 Bucs playoff games last season en route to that Super Bowl win, and one call out here is that the Eagles had a top 10 run defense. The big factor in this one is the late lead playoff game factor, where if a team has a lead late, they run the ball, try to run out the clock. If you are like me, you think the Bucs will have a lead late in this game, so that should lead Lenny to going over this prop. If he hasn't already hit it by the fourth quarter, he should pound the rock and complete this player prop. I do like the over on this one. Another one that I think is intriguing is Jalen Hurts at 49.5 rushing yards. He went 8-7 against the number in the regular season, but Eagles starting running back Miles Sanders has been limited in practice this week, so keep an eye on that. He's questionable for this game. He probably will play, but still, I think Hurts has potential to make some plays with his legs. We've seen it all season. He ran for 44 yards and 2 touchdowns against the Bucs in the regular season, so just came up a bit short of this number 49.5, but with more on the line, I think he will be looking to take off even more and make things happen to keep the Eagles in this game. On to receiving props. Mike Evans, not posted yet. He's been limited in practice. I do think he'll play too. But first one up, the Bucs' top receiving most yardage prop is Gronk at 55.5. He's primed for the playoffs. He had 2 huge games to finish the season with 2 100-plus yard games with 115 and 137, although he was playing to reach his season incentive contract bonus, so he may not be as motivated to go over in this game, but still 115 and 137 in his last 2. He did not play in that regular season matchup against the Eagles, so nothing to really stack up there. I'd like to see the status of Mike Evans come Sunday morning. And if it sounds like he is going to play but maybe be limited, could target Gronk's over here. To the Eagles side of the ball, Devontae Smith, Slim Reaper, set at 43.5. He only had 2 catches for 31 yards in the regular season matchup against the Bucs. He went a 9-9, 50% split against this number in the regular season. Do always think that he has that big play potential. And so does this next guy, Jaylen Rager, 15.5 receiving yards. Rager covered this number on 1 single catch in 5 different games this season, so he does have that potential, but the scary thing is he has had 3 or less targets in 10 of his final 12 games of the season. So risk reward, that's the name of the game when it comes to gambling. 15.5 is a pretty low total though. Anytime touchdown scorers. So if Mike Evans plays, you take Mike Evans to score a touchdown. He ranked 2nd in the league in receiving touchdowns this season. He's Brady's favorite red zone target. He has been the last 2 seasons. So listed at even money earlier this week before the prop was taken down. Didn't see it up there this morning, so keep an eye on that one. If he's out, yep, we shift to the next red zone target that Brady knows and loves, Rob Gronkowski, listed at plus 120. He only scored in 3 games this season, but in all 3 games that he did score, he scored 2 touchdowns. So if you are going to take Gronk to score, maybe you just go all out and go for the 2 touchdown prop. Brady trusts Gronk, especially in the red zone and especially when the games count. So not a bad bet there, especially if Evans is out. The most likely player to get in for the Bucs is playoff Lenny, minus 135 odds, but he did have 2 touchdowns against the Eagles in the regular season. He should play a big part in the Bucs game plan on Sunday, so he's probably going to get in the end zone. Now, here's your stretch. Good value, high potential on this one. Jalen Hurts is listed at plus 230. He scored twice against the Bucs in the regular season, and although that was in garbage time, like I said, talking about his rushing prop, he's going to look to make plays with his legs. That's what he does. That's what he can do, and seeing this at plus 230 is eye-opening. So keep your eyes on that one. If I had to give a pick out against the spread on this one, I would probably take the Bucs just because I did see them have that 28-7 lead on the road before giving up some late touchdowns in garbage time. I do think the Bucs play better at home. Brady doesn't have all of his weapons healthy, but I do think he has been known to do things with less, and I think he will find a way to win this game, and I think the Bucs will cover the spread at home. So enjoy the games. Thanks for watching. You can check out our other videos on the channel. We will have our 49ers, Cowboys video, Chiefs, Steelers video, and Cardinals, Rams video coming up shortly. Thanks for watching. If you did enjoy the video, like, subscribe, Check out Cove Sports on Twitter and Instagram, and never hesitate to reach out with any questions on any betting topics that you have, whether it's a player prop you're looking at, fantasy advice, picks against the spread, over-unders. I got you guys. Thanks for watching.